Good evening, I'm Sarah Chitrakar and these were the headlines of the hour. Sheikh Hasina's 15-year rule in Bangladesh collapses after not being able to cope with protests. Prime Minister resigns and flees to India. Military announces of interim government formation. Security in Nepal beefed up following tensions in Bangladesh. APF intensifies surveillance at the Kakarvitta border transit in Chhapa. Government says Nepali nationals in Bangladesh are safe. The price of air tickets for tourists coming to Nepal soars. Business entrepreneurs urge to lower service fees. Number of tourists in Pokhara low. And host Nepal outclass Maldives in straight sets in the Kava Women's Volleyball Nations League. India also defeats Sri Lanka. Nepal up against Iran and India to face Sri Lanka in the semis. Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, resigned earlier today and fled the country as more people were killed in some of the worst violence since the birth of the South Asian nation more than 5 decades ago. Army Chief General Waqar-ur-Zaman said in a televised address that 76-year-old Hasina had left the country and that an interim government would be formed. Media reports said she had flown in a military helicopter with her sister and was headed to India. According to CNN, she had landed in Ghaziabad in Uttar Pradesh. She is set to leave for London soon. Television visuals showed thousands of people pouring into the streets of the capital Dhaka in jubilation and shouting slogans. Thousands also stormed Hasina's official residence, shouting slogans, pumping fists and showing victory signs. Television visuals showed crowds in the drawing room of the residence, and some people could be seen carrying away televisions, chairs and tables from what was one of the most protected buildings in the country. Protesters in Dhaka also climbed atop a large statue of independence leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Hasina's father, and began chiseling away at the head with an axe. Student activists had called for a march to the capital Dhaka earlier today in defiance of a nationwide curfew to press Hasina to resign, a day after deadly clashes across the country killed nearly 100 people. About 150 people were killed in protest last month. Today, at least 6 people were killed in clashes between police and protesters in the Jatrabari and Dhaka Medical College area. Bangladesh has been engulfed by protests and violence that began last month after student groups demanded scrapping of a controversial quota system in government jobs. That escalated into a campaign to seek the ouster of Hasina, who won a 4th straight term in January in an election boycotted by the opposition. The government has tightened national security after Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled Dhaka amid deadly violence in the country. The armed police force has intensified surveillance at the Kakarvitta border transit in Chhapa district of Koshi province. Additional security personnel have been deployed. The Home Ministry has said that this was due to the rise in possibility of those displaced entering Nepal through the Fulbari transit in Bangladesh. The armed police force has said that additional security forces had also been mobilized at border outposts. The security has been tightened mainly in Koshi, Madhesh and Lumbini provinces. The meeting of the Central Security Committee was held in Singadarbar on the recent development in Bangladesh as well as Nepal's security concerns. Security has been tightened in the country's eastern border transits after the escalation of violence led to the toppling of the government in Bangladesh. Chief District Officer of Chhapa, Bandhu Prasad Bastola, said that security has been intensified in the eastern borders, including Kakarvitta, which is the nearest border transit to enter Nepal from Bangladesh, and Gauriganj, among others. The security has been beefed up as per the directive of the Home Ministry amid possibility of Bangladeshi nationals entering Nepal in the guise of Indian nationals.
गएको छ त्यसको असर नेपालमा पनि पर्न सक्ने सम्भावनातर्फ हामी एकदम उच्च रूपमा सजग भएका छौं। सबै सुरक्षा निकायहरुमा केन्द्रबाट समेत निर्देशन प्राप्त भएको सन्दर्भमा हामी आजै बसेको जिल्ला सुरक्षा समितिको बैठक बसेर त्यस विषयमा गम्भीर छलफल पनि गरेका छौं र सबै सुरक्षा इकाइहरुलाई स्पष्ट निर्देशन दिएको छ एकजना पनि अवैध रूपमा नेपाल प्रवेश गर्न नपाओस्, सबैको चेक जाँच पढाइ गर्न, सबैको अभिलेख राख्न र गस्ती बढाउन हामीले अझै निर्देशन गरिसकेका छौं। सशस्त्र प्रहरीलाई, नेपाल प्रहरी, राष्ट्रिय अनुसन्धान सबै निकायले आफ्ना तलका इकाइहरूलाई निर्देशित गरिसक्नु भएको छ। हामी एकदमै सजग छौं। विगतमा यसरी यस्ता खालका घटनामा कतिपय विदेशी नागरिकहरू अवैध रूपमा छिरेको अनुभव पनि हामीसँग छ। त्यो कारणले पनि हामी अहिले त्यो हुन नदिन अघि भारतीय सुरक्षा निकायसँग पनि हाम्रो समन्वय भइसकेको छ। उनीहरूले पनि आफ्नो गर्दा भारत हुँदै नेपाल प्रवेश गर्ने भएको कारणले गर्दा हामीले भारतसँगको पनि सहयोग लिएर यो काम गर्दैछौं।
The protest, which began in Bangladesh last month after student groups demanded the scrapping of quota system in government jobs, escalated and turned into deadly violence, claiming lives of several people. Lawmakers have demanded answers from the government regarding the recent political development in Bangladesh and the situation of Nepali nationals there. Speaking during today's meeting of the House of Representatives, lawmakers urged the government to remain alert in the face of the political instability in Bangladesh and drew the government's attention towards ensuring the safety of Nepali nationals who are currently there.
यो भयावह अवस्थामा नेपालीहरू जो बङ्गलादेशमा छन् तिनीहरूको अवस्था के छ? कति विद्यार्थीहरू बङ्गलादेशमा छन्, कति नेपाल फर्किए, बङ्गलादेशमा भएका नेपालीहरूको अवस्था कस्तो छ? यसको विषयमा सम्माननीय सभामुखजीले सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीलाई रुलिङ होस् भनेर म आग्रह गर्न चाहन्छु।
यो आन्दोलनको कारणले गर्दा बङ्गलादेशमा थुप्रै नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरू मूलतः मेडिकल एजुकेसनको लागि जानुहुन्छ। सयौं हजारौं नेपाली विद्यार्थीहरू, झन्डै 3000 नेपाली विद्यार्थी पढ्ने भन्ने एउटा आँकडा छ। साथसाथै अन्य व्यक्तिहरू नेपालीहरू व्यवसायको लागि पनि जानुहुन्छ। यस्तो विषम परिस्थितिमा बङ्गलादेशमा रहनुभएका नेपालीहरूको सुरक्षाको ग्यारेन्टी गर्नको लागि म नेपाल सरकारको ध्यान आकर्षण गर्न चाहन्छु। तुरुन्त बङ्गलादेशमा के भइरहेको छ नेपाली राजदूतावास
After this, Chairperson of the National Assembly drew the government's attention towards the issue. Lawmakers had also drawn the government's attention towards the possible impact of the escalation of violence in Bangladesh on the Nepali nationals there. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in the context of recent development in Lebanon, has said that Nepali nationals there were safe and that efforts were being made to address their issues. Issuing a press release earlier today, the ministry stated that it was making efforts to ensure all Nepali nationals in Lebanon were safe. The ministry has urged them to reach out to the Nepalese embassy in Egypt's Cairo and individuals designated by the ministry in case they required immediate assistance and to provide their information at the ministry's website. The ministry has issued information about the Nepali nationals in Lebanon in the wake of escalating tensions in the Middle East following the death of chiefs of Hezbollah and Hamas in Israeli strikes. No immediate security concerns had been witnessed in the country in recent times. Security challenges are minimized by strong and stable government. However, security bodies had drawn the government's attention on several occasions towards efforts to disrupt social harmony through caste and religion-based discrimination. During the meeting of the State Affairs Committee today, the heads of security bodies informed political parties about the current state of national security. During the meeting of the Parliament's State Affairs Committee last Thursday, lawmakers demanded information from the heads of security bodies regarding the state of national security. A piece of information given by Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak, Home Secretary Naren Aryal and the heads of security bodies during the meeting has been considered sensitive. Home Secretary Aryal has said that the overall security was satisfactory, but a few groups at some places were actively making efforts to disturb social harmony. The Inspector General of Police also shared a similar remark. The security bodies were of the opinion that activities to disturb the accord in the society was being carried out at some places in Madhesh and Koshi provinces and that the political leadership should play its role in preventing them. The security bodies had suspected of bribery in various instances of religious protest and demonstrations for identity. The Chief of Army Staff had informed the Parliamentary Committee regarding this issue. Ruling CPN-UML lawmaker Raghuji Panta also added that the country's social structure contributed in religious and caste-based discrimination. According to data by Nepal Police, 74 mass protests, 8 road blockades, 125 instances of padlocking and 375 demonstrations were held in the Nepali fiscal year 2079-80. 81 protesters and 134 security personnel had been injured during these incidents. Around 13,000 security personnel had been mobilized within a year to maintain peace and security. The Nepal Army had been deployed in the streets of Nepalganj as well. 258 such incidents have occurred within the last 1 year in the name of identity and religion. More than 17,000 security personnel had been mobilized to bring situations under control. The security entities have identified bribery in such instances and have urged political parties to take initiatives at local level to prevent such activities. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Before that, let's take a look at the result from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we had asked, what's your say on Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's comment that the government does not get involved in creating publicity stunts? 23% voted for A, indication of improvement, 35% for B, carry out works then, and 42% for C, this is publicity stunt. Here's today's question. What's your take on government negligence on the construction of sports infrastructures? The options are A, lacking long-term thinking, B, neglecting the sports sector, and C, National Sports Council's irresponsibility. Voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. The government has a target of bringing 1.6 million tourists into the country next year. However, as the government has imposed a value-added tax or VAT on the air tickets from last year, tourists have complained that the trip to Nepal has become more expensive. The number of tourists in the tourist capital Pokhara has also declined. Prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the airfare for a round trip to New York from Kathmandu was around 115,000 rupees. However, it has now doubled. According to business persons, airfares for Gulf countries has gone up by 40%. The prices of air tickets increased after the government added VAT on the tickets. Aviation fuel in Nepal is also 25% more expensive compared to other SAARC nations. Likewise, ground handling charge at airports in Nepal is also the highest among South Asian countries. Meanwhile, the airfare of international flights tripled during the tourist season. Likewise, the insurance fees for tourists has also skyrocketed. Concerned entities believe that these issues have raised the airfares for tourists coming to Nepal. The government collected around 6 billion rupees last year from the VAT imposed on air tickets. Although business persons have criticized the government for imposing VAT on air tickets, the government has not backed off from its decision. If the government does not address these issues, its target of bringing 1.6 million tourists into the country next year will certainly fall short. In our Public Voice segment, today we have asked in several provinces regarding ways to extend the stay and spending of tourists in the country. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
बाटो घाटो अनि पर्यटनका क्षेत्रहरूमा हुने सबै सेवा सुविधाहरू तिनको लागि पर्याप्त हुनुपर्दछ।
ट्राभल गर्नलाई पनि अलि फ्यासिलिटी धेरै बढाउनु पर्यो।
सहजीकरण गरिदिने र नीति नियम चाहिँ राम्रो ल्यायो भने उनीहरु चाहिँ बस्न सक्छ।
पर्यटकहरूलाई पनि यहाँ सुरक्षित छ है भन्ने चाहिँ आफुलाई उस दिलाउन सक्नु पर्यो।
नेपाल आउने पर्यटकहरू हुनुहुन्छ, अलिकति गुनासो के छ भने नेपालको लागि चाहिँ अलिकति भिसा चार्जहरू महँगो भयो।
सफा सुग्घर बाटोघाटो यसमा बढी जोड त नेपाल सरकारको नै हुन्छ।
पर्यटकहरू नेपालमा हवाई मार्ग मार्फत सिधा चाहिँ आफ्नो देशबाट हाम्रो देशमा आउने चाहिँ गन्तव्यको लागि चाहिँ राम्रो व्यवस्था गर्नु पर्यो।
पर्यटकहरू आएर भुल्न सक्ने वातावरण त हुनु पर्यो।
होटलहरुलाई चाहिँ अलि स्तरीय बनाउनु पर्यो। कम पैसा लिएर पर्यटकलाई त्यसरी चाहिँ भित्राउन सकिन्छ।
नेपालमा हरेक कुराको सुरक्षा छ भन्ने अनुभूति गराउनु पर्यो।
विदेशी पाहुनाहरूलाई करमा छुट दिनुपर्छ।
पर्यटकको बसाइ लम्ब्याउनको लागि नयाँ
पदयात्रा सिर्जना गर्न पर्यो।
विदेशी पाहुनाहरूको लागि नयाँ नयाँ योजना लिएर आउनु पर्यो।
स्थानीय खाना के पाइन्छ कस्तो पाइन्छ हाम्रो नयाँ नयाँ खाना बनाएर खिलाउनु पर्यो उनीहरूलाई।
हाम्रो कला संस्कृति सँगै रमाउन सक्यो भने उनीहरू हामीसँग रमाउने हुन् र हाम्रो संस्कृतिसँग रमाउने हुन्, हामीसँग बस्न रुचाउने हुन्।
Sports news.
Host Nepal outclassed Maldives in straight sets in the Kawa Women's Volleyball Nations League. Nepal will now clash against Iran in the semi-finals. In the match played at the covered hall at the premises of the National Sports Council in Tripureshwar this evening, Nepal dominated the first set and won it 25-8 to take a 1-love lead. The second set was more competitive, but Nepal went on to win it 25-19. Nepal claimed the third set 25-18 to seal the victory. Nepal had already qualified for the semis prior to today's match. Nepal won 3 out of 4 group stage matches and finished second in the points table. Nepal defeated Sri Lanka, India and Maldives, but suffered their only loss against Iran yesterday in a competitive 5-setter. Meanwhile, Maldives crashed out of the tournament without winning any matches or sets. Iran finished third with a 7 points from 4 matches. The semi-final clash between Nepal and Iran is scheduled to kick off at 5:15 p.m. tomorrow. Meanwhile, in today's first match of the Kawa Women's Volleyball Nations League, India defeated Sri Lanka in straight sets to stay atop the points table. In the match played at the covered hall in Tripureshwar earlier today, India won the first set convincingly 25-13. The second set was competitive and at one stage, the set was tied at 2-all, in fact 20-all. But India played well towards the end of the set and won it 25-21 to take a 2-love lead. India won the third set 25-20 to secure victory and remain on top of the points table. India won 3 out of 4 matches at the group stage to secure 10 points. India defeated Iran, Maldives and Sri Lanka but suffered defeat against Nepal in 5 sets. It was Sri Lanka's third loss at the tournament today. They only defeated Maldives in the 4 matches at the group stage. Despite losing 3 matches, Sri Lanka have secured a spot in the semi-finals, finishing 4th in the points table. India will face Sri Lanka in tomorrow's first semi-final, which is scheduled to start at 3 p.m. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.